No, no, no. I'm free to be the greatest Himalaya. I'm free to be the greatest.
Always start your practice by mindfully connecting with your breath. So by that I mean breathing in through the nose and out through the nose to stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system to cool, calm and relax the mind. Now this exercise is called shoulder flossing. So hands are just wider than shoulder width apart to allow the arms to come back down behind you. As you inhale, take the arms up and overhead, and then as you exhale, bring the arms back down behind you. Good. Inhale to lift. Exhale to come back down. One breath, one movement, starting the breath just before the movement to help with your flow. Now let's put the strap to one side. We're coming into a lateral flexion, so make sure your tailbone is tucking under to protect your lower back. Lower rib cage is in. And inhale to reach and extend through the crown of the head, and as you exhale, come across into your lateral flexion. Hand can stay on your hip. If you'd like to work the abdominals a little bit more, then bring the hand down alongside your leg, tucking your chin in to look up underneath your arm. Inhale. Exhale to release. Now inhale again, lift and lengthen, create space between the vertebrae of the spine. As you exhale, use that space to come into your lateral flexion, opening up your chest towards the sky, chin tucked in. Any tension in your neck, look down towards the ground. Again, stacking the joints to protect the joints, so ankles underneath your hips. Let's come into a balance, our eagle pose. Find a drishti out in front. So in this instance, we're bringing our right leg over our left and our left arm over our right. Putting a little bend in your standing legs so you don't lock out through the knee. Tucking your tailbone under. Be strong and secure. Inhale to lift the arms high. Exhale to release out of the balance using control. Roll out the ankle. And then let's come on to the other side. And as you come into your balance, again, find strength. Knowing that in a balance, you are working every single muscle in the body to hold you in this position. Make sure that you take the elbows high, hands away from your face, tuck the chin in, and feel that lovely stretch in the shoulder blades here in our eagle pose. Feel into the ankles, the knees, and the hips as we strengthen these joints. In our balance. As we release, come out with control. Exhale to bring your foot back down to the ground. A couple of shoulder rolls to release any tension. And then coming back onto the towel, let's find ragdoll. So tuck the chin in and gently start to roll down towards your mat. A little bend in the knees if you're feeling any tension in your lower back. Coming all the way down, we're hinging at the hips, so your lower back must stay straight, and to do this, keep the bend in the knee, working your torso towards your legs and bending the knee as much as you need to make this happen. Holding on to opposite elbows, let the neck relax completely. Feel the stretch all the way down the back. As you bring the weight forward into your toes, lift the tailbone high, feel the extension down the back of the legs. Exhale, gently walk the hands forward into Adho Mukha, downward facing dog. A lovely resting pose in yoga. Neck again is released. Working your heels back down towards the ground, tilt the tailbone high. Dropping the knees gently to the mat. Knees out wide, big toes touching, coming into child's pose. Relax your shoulders by bringing your arms back down alongside you. Maybe tuck your wrists under next to your knees to stretch out through the wrists. Again, child's pose is a resting pose in yoga. If you need it, rest here, then rejoin us when you're ready. Coming into rabbit pose, as you inhale, lift up onto your knees. As you roll onto the crown of your head, interlacing your fingers to release through the shoulders again. Big deep breath. This is a lovely inversion, head below the heart, increasing blood flow to the brain to help with memory and concentration. Reaching out one more time in your gorgeous child's pose, working your sitting bones back towards your heels. Big deep breaths, do not lose the breath. Tucking the toes under now, come back to sit on your heels, your toes and your heels. This is a lovely stretch through the feet, particularly if you wear flip-flops constantly. Let's find windmills now with our shoulders. So exhale, release left arm forward, right arm back, meeting at the top. Left arm forward, right arm back. Go with the flow. Stop at the top after 5 rounds and go the other way. Right arm forward, left arm back. Breathing, tucking the tailbone under slightly, gaze is soft, facial muscles are relaxed and released. From here, release the hands back to the ground, coming back onto your knees, finding your tabletop position, so stacking the joints, hips directly above the knees as you walk the hands forward now into your puppy pose. Again, such a fantastic stretch for improving posture. So if you sit at a desk for many hours typing away on a computer, this pose is for you. If you drive a car for many hours, this pose is for you. If you want a deeper shoulder opener, bring your chin to the ground, your chin to the mat. Back into tabletop, make sure the shoulders are stacked above the wrists. Cat-cow curls, as you inhale, take the gaze up towards the sky. Exhale, release back down. Inhale, look up towards the sky, tilt the tailbone high. Exhale, relax the shoulders, spread through the shoulder blades, drawing the navel in and upwards. Inhale, take the gaze back up towards the sky. Exhale to release. You can even open your mouth here to exhale. These poses are really detoxifying and rejuvenating for the body. I love starting my morning with cat-cow curls. Also wonderful for releasing and stretching all the back muscles and stimulating the nervous system that runs along the spine to activate all the nerve cells in the body, giving you lots of energy for your day. Back into downward facing dog when you are ready, stretching out. And then walking your hands back again towards your toes, a little bend in the knees to protect your lower back. Again, closing the gap between your torso and your legs. So bend the knees as much as you need to make this happen. As you interlace the fingers to take the arms up and overhead. Bringing the weight gently forward into the toes, tilt the tailbone high, feel that awesome extension all the way down the back of the legs. And then rolling up slowly like a rag doll. Take your time. Head is the last thing to come up. A couple of big shoulder rolls again at the top. Feeling a little bit more released as we interlace the fingers, tuck the chin in. Take the hands away, palms are facing you, like you're trying to pull the fingers apart. Tuck your chin in, and again, feel that lovely stretch through the shoulder blades. Release the palms away from you, stretch through the fingers. And then as you inhale, take the arms up and overhead. Tuck the tailbone under, draw the lower rib cage in. Protect your lower back. Coming up onto your tippy toes, let's find another balance. I always encourage my students to challenge themselves. So look up towards the ceiling, the sky here, and notice the difference in the balance. As soon as you take your eyes away from your drishti, gently coming back down onto your heels, relax your arms back down alongside you, tucking your chin in again, finding your ragdoll, little bend in the knees, start to come all the way back down. Working your hands to your calf muscles now, so the whole forearm runs down your calf muscles. Find the hamstrings, and then gently as you exhale, walk your hands forward into downward facing dog. Dropping the knees to the mat, coming back into your tabletop position. Find your alignment and then inhale, raise your right arm up into the air. As you exhale, thread the needle, take it underneath your left. Keeping your left hand in front of your face for support and security. Any tension in your neck comes straight back up. Now use your left hand to open your chest up a little bit further towards the sky. Coming into a half bind, take the arm behind your back to grip onto the inside of your right thigh. And when you're ready, maybe stepping the left foot out to the side, taking the foot off the ground to find a balance. As you draw your knee back in, inhale to reach your left arm high. Exhale, bring the hand back in front of your face and use it to pick yourself up. raising your right arm back up into the air, finding the shoulder opener. Exhale, hand gaze returns to the ground, realign. And then inhale, raise the left arm high. Exhale, thread the needle. So shoulder and ear come completely to the mat. Feel the stretch through the neck and the shoulder. Reaching your right arm forward when you're ready. Maybe finding a half bind, so working the hand to the inside of the left thigh this time. When you're ready, if you'd like to, this is optional, always working in different levels and stages. You might like to step your right foot out to the side, maybe lifting it into the air for a balance. Use the abdominals. Draw the knee back in, lift the right arm high. Exhale, bring the hand in front of the face, using it to pick you up, and then completing the pose by reaching the left hand high, coming back into tabletop as you exhale. Tuck the toes under, find downward facing dog again. Big deep breaths, finding your breath if you've lost it, in through the nose and out through the nose. Inhale, take the right leg high, opening up the hip. Exhale, step the foot in between the hands. Inhale, take the arms high. Exhale, right hand to left elbow, shoulder opener. Now, if you want to go into a full bind here, bring the right hand around to find a bind, a grip. Left elbow pointing directly up towards the sky. In your lunge, keep your tailbone tucked under, lower rib cage drawing in. If your fingertips don't quite meet in your bind, use a strap to form that connection until you get the opening in your shoulders. Remember, in your lunge, knee not coming over the ankle, so make sure you step that foot forward enough. Now, release your bind, step your back foot in just a little bit and drop the back heel to a 45-degree angle. Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. Interlace the fingers, protract the chin, look up, and then as you exhale, take the hands up and overhead. Working into our hips now. So working your right shoulder past your right knee. As you inhale, hands back to the body, lift up into Warrior 1. Exhale, release the hands onto your hips and turn your toes, your feet, so you come into a wide-legged stance. Toes in, heels out. A little bend in the knees. Inhale, and then as you exhale, fold forward at the hips, spine stays straight. As you interlace the fingers, taking the arms up and overhead again, feeling a release through the shoulders. Bringing the weight gently forward into your toes, tilt the tailbone high, and feel that lovely extension down the back of the legs as you bring the crown of the head to the mat. Inhale to boat pull. And then as you exhale, walk your hands around to the right, find a low lunge. Back heel off the mat. Inhale, standing split. Lift that left foot high. Maybe bring your right hand to the calf, maybe your left, working the chin to the shin. Bend through your left knee and bring it to the outside of your right foot into a seated twist. Make sure that both sitting bones are on the ground. If not, just straighten out through your left leg. Coming into your correct alignment, really important as you inhale. Reach the left arm high as you exhale. Take the elbow over your knee, tucking your chin in to look down at your shoulder behind you. If you don't need those right fingertips behind you for support, maybe come into a half bind by bringing those right fingertips to your left hip. A full bind, of course, by bringing your left arm in between the legs, but only make sure you come into this pose when you've closed the gap between your leg and your torso. Big deep breaths, tucking the chin in, keeping your neck in its correct alignment. As you exhale, head comes back to center first, followed by the rest of the body. Inhale, come into your standing split. And then as you exhale, step back into a long lunge. Plant the back heel to a 90-degree angle. Inhale, come into your side angle pose. Finding a bind here if you would like to. This is optional. Straightening through the front leg, find that hamstring. Relax, making sure the weight is into the outside blade of your back foot. Front knee not coming over the ankle. Exhale to release, low lunge. Step back into a high plank Drop the knees if you need to, coming through your chaturanga. Inhale, lift up into cobra. Good. Reach the hands forward and exhale into cactus arms. Inhale forward, exhale back. Inhale forward, exhale back. My gaze, I'm looking down towards the ground to keep my neck in its correct alignment. Finding a gorgeous back bend. My toes are gently coming away from the ground. Bring the hands back by the ribs. Inhale up onto your knees. Exhale. Stretch out in child's pose and then come back into your downward facing dog. 2 big deep breaths before you inhale. Lift the left leg high. Exhale gently, 1 big step in between the hands with your foot. Find your alignment, knee secure. Good, so make sure your knee is not over the ankle. Inhale, lift up into your high lunge. And then left hand comes to your right elbow. If you want to find your full bind again, feel free to. If you want to work your hip flexor, just gently hover your right knee off the mat. Tucking the tailbone under, draw the lower rib cage in, feel the shoulder opener. Now, if one shoulder is tighter than the other, you will notice that in your binding here. So just take a mental note and perhaps stay on your tighter side for a few more breaths. Again, finding your alignment in Warrior One. Hips are facing forward. So in this instance, don't lose your right hip. Keep it in line with your left. Interlace the fingers, protract the chin, look up, and then as you exhale, drift forward into your hip opener, taking that left knee out to the side, left shoulder working past your left knee as you take the arms up and overhead. Inhale, raise the arms back into your Warrior One, and exhale, come into your wide-legged stance now on the right side. Toes in, heels out. Keep your knees and your toes in their correct alignment. And as you exhale, hinging forward at the hips, come into your forward fold. Now we're going to come into a twist this time. So bring your right hand underneath your face. Reach your left hand. Exhale, hand gaze release. Repeat on the other side. Walking the hands back around to the left. Let's inhale, come into your standing split. Maybe bring the left hand onto the calf, maybe your right, working the chin to the shin. And then as you exhale, right knee to the outside of left foot this time, coming into your seated twist. Both sitting bones on the ground, fingertips behind for support. Inhale, raise the right arm high. And then as you exhale, take the elbow over the knee, tuck your chin in, look down at your shoulder as you exhale. Finding your half bind, so bringing your hand around to your right hip or your full bind. The right arm goes in between the legs to find the grip with the left hand. Big deep breath, so don't let your breath become constricted in a twist. Keep breathing deep down into the diaphragm. Keep your mind present, and as you exhale, head comes back to center, followed by the rest of the body. Inhale, standing split. Find that lovely hamstring stretch. Before you exhale into a long lunge, ground your back heel to a 90-degree angle and open the hips up into side angle pose. Again, lots of variations. Keep your chest opening up towards the sky. You can take your top arm over the ear. You can find a half bind, your full bind, tucking the chin in to look up towards the sky. If your chest is coming down to the ground, just bend your bottom elbow on top of the knee to give you the lift that you need in this pose. Exhale, hand gaze returns to the ground. Low lunge. Step back into your downward facing dog. And then as you inhale, come forward to a high plank. Exhale all the way down to the ground. Flattening the sand out from underneath me. Inhale, reach the arms forward. Exhale, take them back alongside you. Reverse snow angels now. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Toes are really lifting high now as we find a lovely back bend, counteracting all that forward bending we do, building the muscles in the back to protect our spine and activating the nervous system that runs along the spine to give us lots of energy, similar to our twists. As you finish, inhale and then exhale back into child's pose. Of course, beach yoga, you always need a moment to desand your towel or your mat. And then wander forward on your knees, cross your ankles behind you and come and sit back. Of course, sunglasses are a crucial part of the outfit when it comes to beach yoga. Keep them handy. Coming into reverse tabletop now, stacking the joints. As always, keep your chin tucked in if there's any tension in your neck. Otherwise, release the head all the way back. Lift those hips. As you exhale, head's the last thing to come up. Good, rolling gently down onto your mat or your towel. Hug your knees into the chest. Release your lower back, gently rocking from side to side. Massage your lower back into the ground. Working into your alignment for bridge now. So make sure that your ankles are directly underneath your knees. So your feet are hip width apart. Arms alongside you, palms face down. And as you inhale, we always inhale into a back bend. Lift your hips high. Maybe interlacing your fingers underneath you to get a deeper shoulder stretch. If you'd like to come into your full wheel pose, then go for it by taking the arms up and overhead, bending through the elbows, planting the hands next to your ears and inhaling to lift up, straightening through your arms, beaming your chest forward. As you exhale, always remember to bring the back of the head to the mat first as you roll down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Feet out wide, knees together. Release your lower back first before moving into any other pose. It's really important that you do this after any strong back bend. When you're ready, keep your feet where they are, knees out wide. Just take your knees over to the right, arms out shoulder height, and then bring your right foot onto your left knee just to open up through the hips a little bit more. Feet out wide. And then as you exhale again, knees to the left, bring your left foot on top of your right knee. Maybe taking the gaze over to the right to deepen the twist. Good. Feel the release in the lower back as we increase circulation to that area. As you inhale, head back to center, followed by the knees. Taking your legs high up into the sky now. Let's come into supported shoulder stand. So push through your hands as you lift up your hips, reaching the toes into the air. Now bring your hands to your lower back and keep walking the elbows in towards one another to give you the leverage to keep upright here. Good. Pressing the back of the head gently into the mat, gently taking your chin away from your chest to protect your neck. Working into any leg position here, so Supta Baddha Konasana or legs out wide. After 10 big, deep breaths. Then as you exhale, begin to gently release back into your plow pose. Very, very gently, bringing those toes back behind you. Now, if your toes don't touch the ground, keep your hands on your lower back. If they do, you can release the hands. Make sure that you keep pulling those legs up and away from your face. If you want a deeper stretch here, you can untuck your toes in your halasana. Big deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Again, a lovely shoulder opener here. And then if you'd like to, you can come into deaf man's pose with the knees by the ears for 5 more deep breaths. And a stretch in the back, the opening through the shoulders. And these poses are great for digestion as you squeeze and stimulate all your internal organs, activating your metabolism at the same time. Inhale to lift back up, out of the pose, and then gently as you exhale, release the spine back down towards the ground. Very gently, slowly, with control, the toes, the feet follow, using your abdominals, making sure that your lower back doesn't pick up off the ground. From here, let's come into our unsupported fish pose. So arms alongside you, palms face up. Just gently bring your torso on top of your hands. And as you inhale, the only thing that moves are your elbows bending at a 90-degree angle. Beam the chest high, neck relaxed and released. To come into a deeper pose, just lift the toes, the feet away from the mat. Exhale to release. Finding a block if you have one. Let's come into our supported version of fish pose now. So the block can be flat, or you can have it on its half side, and making sure the block is straight and directly in between your shoulder blades. So not higher than your cervical spine, but not low on your lumbar spine. Make sure it runs along your thoracic spine. As you fold over the block, take the arms up and overhead, holding on to opposite elbows. Again, such a fantastic stretch and opening through the shoulders. This pose is great for jet lag as you increase the flow of oxygen into the body. 10 big, deep breaths here in your supported fish pose. Good. Simply relax and let go. Enjoy that sensation of opening through the chest, counteracting all that forward folding that we do as humans throughout the day. Release, coming back out. Take the block out from underneath you. Gently hug the knees back into the chest one final time. And then releasing your lower back into the ground. Gently coming down into your Shavasana. Good, knowing that there is nothing left that you need to do but simply relax and absorb all the nutrients and oxygenated blood that you've just created through all those various yoga poses to reach every cell in the body. Letting your breath return to normal. Palms face up, fingers naturally curling in, toes falling out to the side. If you're like me and you're practicing on the beach, feel the breeze on your face. Listen to the sound of the waves, keeping your mind present to ensure that you get the maximum benefits out of this pose, knowing that this pose is the most important pose of your entire practice. So let go and enjoy.